Welcome back, hunters! I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to the Hunter Classic. So we're still in Val-des-bois, and we're up into the more alpine regions now. And we've gotten... the end of last episode, we basically had like a herd of Ibex in this area that I was able to try taking or dealing with. I've got one wounded, but I don't know where it's exactly gone off to. Because it's... I guess I'll try going this way further. Like, there are a few tracks left behind by it, but I've not been able to find where, like, the body might have dropped off at. Or what path it even took from a certain point. And I'm really hoping it didn't, like, go too far off this way, then drop and just slide all the way down the mountain, because that's very possible of happening. And I also have to be... oh, Lord, no. Oh, there's a track here. This is probably one of the fleeing tracks, isn't it? No, that was roaming. So, I am confused, but where it would have gone off to, then? I'll try going along the ridgeway the other direction, and maybe it's just did, like, a loop back as I was taking down the others over here. But yeah, it's been weird trying to, like, hunt up here and go after the Ibex. Well, not so much the Ibex, but just, like, try and come up here. There's some stuff that just does not really make sense to me. Like, that mini-game around the climbing gear, I really don't understand the purpose of, aside from just, like, trying to frustrate the player. Okay, so, oh lord, there's a call coming from up that way. Yeah, the Ibex really can go anywhere. I mean, I could understand if maybe it was a way of... like, if it didn't take a full stack climbing gear in a spot, let's say it took 5 to put up, and then you'd have to use maybe 1 to go... you know what, the more I talk about it, the more I can't even, like... because I was going to say, maybe you're rewarded in you don't use all your climbing gear to go up a thing if you're, like, cautious as you go. But just to set up a spot for climbing gear, it takes an entire stack. So, I don't know at all what to really, like, make of that. Okay, let me try going over here, because it does look like I see the spot where I probably need to use the second stack if I did bring it with me. We'll go over here and see what we can find, at least. Considering the... oh, there is a track here? Maybe? I don't know. It, yeah, lit up for a moment. Oh yeah, I can see, like, tracks are right on the side of the freaking mountain there. If it went up, there's no way I'm going to be able to follow it up there. And that looks like exactly what it's done. Yeah, my thinking was, say if you didn't actually have to use the full stack climbing gear, say if you, as you climbed an area, you would play the mini game to, like, determine how many pieces of, like... I'm trying to think of how I can word this, because I don't have the visual anymore. When you buy the climbing gear, you have 20 units to it. So, with that, let's say you didn't actually use any to climb up the mountain. You don't actually put anything in place, but as you start climbing, you have to play the minigame, and every time you fail, it ticks you off 1 piece of your climbing gear. So that way, if you actually complete the minigame without, like, too much trouble, you're rewarded by not using as much climbing gear. That's how I could kind of argue that working. But with the climbing gear something where you put, basically, the stack down onto something, I just am left kind of baffled by that inclusion. Because I can't rationalize it. And unfortunately, I don't see any other tracks from that one, so it does seem like it is just gone. Well, shoot. I'm surprised that that one was able to get away, though, because... like, there was another Ibex that I managed to just, like, get the body shot on. Oh, you're mocking me now with that right there. And the thing is, I can unmount the climbing gear from where it was, but I don't know how that would work on that one. Yeah, it's a weird system. It is a very weird system. Well, I do have a little bit of a ways I can go around this entire area, so maybe I'll just keep going from along, see what else I can find, but I think I'm going to have to basically admit defeat in that the one Ibex is gone. No, actually I just saw movement. Yeah, there's an Ibex right there, but it's, again, even if I take it down, it's not going to roll down here. Okay. You know what, maybe what I'll do is I'll just go for a sprint down towards where, like, kind of like the base more of the mountains there, because maybe it did, like, pass from the wound and slid down somewhere. Now, let me actually bring those up again. Okay, I thought I almost saw, like, a rock or something there. Maybe it was just my mistake. And I don't know if I'll actually come across the other animal in this area or not. Because it's, I think, species of ptarmigan is also up in the mountains. But yeah, this is a pretty small transitional zone compared to, like, old there you could get up to if you had all the climbing gear needed for it. So let me just look a little bit more around the base of, like, where they were all running around, and possibly it's maybe somewhere I just overlooked. Yeah, I took all the shots around here. And this all kind of slides down towards, like, this general area. It actually kind of looks like for where I climbed up over there, just trying to think of where, if it did, like, drop, and it did slide all the way down a mountainside, where would it have, like, wound up? I'm surprised that the one... I got an Ibex from just a body shot. It didn't actually, like, hit any of the, vitals, and I'm surprised that dropped, but this other one didn't. I do got something here. I think it's just another Ibex track, though. There's a previous one, but... actually, there are a few tracks down here. Okay, so I don't see any, like, solid, semicircles, so that... or I guess they probably are actually proper spheres, it's just half of them are always buried in the ground. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks like the possible drop site of where the other one might have went down. Very good visual range if I looked out this way, though. I just don't think I'm going to get lucky in spotting anything. Okay, let me try going up to see that area where all the tracks are, and maybe if I can try to figure out where, like, the initial shot spot is again. I can try to figure this out a bit more. I know I shouldn't spend too long on this, but it's one of those things, I've wounded it and I'd really like to try to harvest it. At least try to make sure that it is put down. Yes, this is where a number of the tracks are. Okay, is this the shoot site? Possibly. There's blood there. I feel like this might actually have been the site where I shot it, although it's hard to say. I really would have sworn with how bright the blood is, that would have been a sign of. So basically, I'm thinking it was roaming here, it went down here. Now, is this... This is a bit tricky, because this is either the first site where... No, that says fleeing, so that could have been the first... I almost feel like I shot it there, because that's where it started roaming and fleeing. It hit this, and started going upwards. It started going up. I just gotta find more tracks from it. I know they eventually wind their way up. Yeah, there's that one there. That's just a roaming, though. I need to find all the fleeing tracks. Oh! There's actually one all the way down here. No, there are actually a few here. So are these more roaming? That's a fleeing. And that's a roaming. Okay. This is getting a little more puzzling as I keep trying to just sort it out. That was a roaming. That's a roaming. Yeah, they must have all just been kind of circling around here for quite a while. Okay, but then there's the fleeing. So let's say that's the latest one we got. So it fled its way here. And then it says it's fleeing up this way. And I don't see any tracks there. But I know there are some tracks from it fleeing over this way. Yeah, so fled this way. Then there's blood there. And then it just seems like it stops here. So I don't know if it is actually able to climb up or it went somewhere else. This is where, again, tracking can be really difficult at times in the Hunter Classic. See, I don't even see any tracks up along this, where maybe they did climb their way up. And if I go this way, I don't remember if I had found any other tracks down here from it. Yeah, I don't see any other tracks here, so that does seem to be the last one it left. Well, I'm going to have to stop with this track here, because again, it just seems like it's almost vanished into... Oh. No, that's a different track, but I don't even see it here. Yeah, it can just get confusing trying to follow some of these. Okay, so I'll have to surrender on that, and can't really say where it would have gone further from here. It does seem like it probably was able to climb up with the others and just got out of what territory I could actually get to. So I'll start going around the other side and see what else might be there. I will keep this selected just in case I can find any other tracks. Who knows where or what happened to it. there are some tracks here, but I don't think there are any from it. Yeah, I don't see any others. Okay. I got some rain coming in, so I'm just going to follow along the ridge for a while and see what's towards the other end. We might get lucky, maybe there are some more ibex around in this area or something else. But I think I don't need this anymore, so I will take the shotgun out just in case. There we go. That's all loaded up. And we'll just hike through this area a bit more. And we got some tracks here. Let me see if I can get a good look at them. Like, oh, and another present. I guess I might as well go just scoop that up. A purple one this time. Okay, so can I actually see any tracks here? Are they like just... I don't even see like red outlines to say what... Oh, there is a track. Okay, so that is from an ibex. Now, something too is even if you don't select the tracks to see the species, you can sometimes see like just almost like how it's a decal on the ground, so you can make out what it's from, like an animal-wise. Sometimes. Unfortunately, it seems like that doesn't work very well on slope terrain. Although sometimes it does. So that's more ibex tracks. And I'll just try to keep listening out in case I hear any others or hear something else call out. Yeah, again, I don't see any... I'm not sure, it's just... No, this is a bit odd. I thought the ibex might have been able to climb out of the area, but from a lot of these tracks, it almost looks like they've just kept going around the edges. Like, there's droppings I can properly see. Not sure what that other track was. Let's see if we can get a call from anything else. And we still got some tracks to go. I should also do a little bit of looking around since I am up a little bit with higher ground here in case there's anybody just wandering down the trees a bit. Doesn't look like I have any movement though. Yeah, seems like there's not that much activity in this area now. I think Val-des-bois, I'm still pretty mixed on it as a map, like with the climbing gear and that still. It might be more accessible to try out, like with being able to use the GM bucks for it, but without, like, I think there's a lot more could have done to be more concise of, like, you have to use an entire stack for a single climbing spot, even though it says it has 20 units in it. And then, like, the mini game, and that really does seem to be the problem with Hunter Classic. It's seems like it's all developed with an approach of we have this inside knowledge, we know what it's supposed to be like, but we don't make it very friendly for if you are just, like, experiencing it in-game without going through, like, guides or walkthroughs or something first. It really does keep me holding firm to recommending Call of the Wild over the Hunter Classic. The Hunter Classic can still provide some good hunting and challenge and a lot of stuff like that, but it's just a lot more user-friendly to play Call of the Wild than the Classic. Yes, we still do have quite a few tracks for Ibex around. Oh, there's another climbing spot. if I hear a call, I could probably hone in and maybe try getting another one or two. I don't think I've gotten a male yet, and I think all the ones I've seen so far have just been the females. It's been very quiet going around this area now, so it does look like I'm starting to kind of near the other ridge that contains this area. But also, I guess maybe that's what that giant wall of text is when you open up, like, the climbing gear as an item in the inventory. I should have taken a little bit better of a read of what all the details were with it, but it still baffles me. I don't think you needed to include the minigame for it. But we'll just go along and see what else is all around here. So, I mean, I think I can actually... I don't think I have to climb down to reach that area. I think all that... Oh, speaking of that there's actually an Ibex I can spot all the way out there. Not sure... Okay, yeah, I probably can't get the shots in from this distance, but... I can get my way down there and keep a good eye on them. Oh, actually, that's it fleeing, so... Maybe I was actually getting close to a few of them. Okay, so this wasn't like a super large loss of coming too ill-equipped. I wasn't equipped enough to get to the, I guess, the best hunting areas where you don't need to climb anymore or need more gear to get higher up. But it does look like I have some chances still with this spot. Let me pull the rifle up and see if I can spot what that is, if that's a male or a female. I think it's still too far out of range, and even with like being zoomed in all the way on the scope, it's a very distant target. Let's just ease our way down and see. Oh, there was something down there too. Is that another Ibex? Looks like it. Oh, I was going to say maybe we could actually watch and see how it climbs up on the mountainside, but it went right into all the trees there. Oh, there it is. So that's how I decided to make it climb. It just can go up the slopes without... I think it's stuck now. I mean, I could probably actually try getting to it. I don't know if that actually hit or not. Ooh. I think it actually did. I think I'm going to have to go out there and take a look, because... Yeah, I think that actually was one. I wasn't sure if I'd get a hit from how far out it was, but... It seemed like it was doing a little bit of weird stuff on the mountainside. They are definitely... a strange beast, to be sure. I'm not sure if it's just because of how... I mean, the Hunter series has never exactly been one that's been known for being super bug-free, let's say. It's always had some glitches, bugs, errors, what have you in it. And it seems like perhaps the climbing stuff there is another aspect of that. Actually, I better make sure I can actually even reach where it is. So I'm pretty sure I can get to where it slid down. Oh, that was a male up there. Oh, if he can just get onto an area where the slope looks good for... Shoot. That one looked like it could have been a really good one. So that was probably a good size... Well, I don't want to say a good size. So that was definitely a male. It was much more than the females I've seen so far. If he would have just, like, stayed on one spot for a little bit, almost like on, like, the edge, probably could have gotten him. Let me try to find where this one is, though. And it does seem they are pretty janky trying to climb up and go along the mountainsides and that, though. Yeah, there it is. So we were able to get this one. So I think it's probably another female. Yeah, this is definitely a female. I don't think I've gotten... Aside from that one we just saw, all of them so far were just females, and... So that's interesting. It was a body shot, but it went down, like, in no time. So it makes me wonder how the one that I got the other shot on didn't go down despite everything. Yeah, we'll stay out here for a little bit longer. It is possible we might find some more Ibex just somewhere about. But yeah, Val-des-bois, it's still a mixed map for me. Like, the lowland hunting that I think is just fine and works very well, but all this, like, alpine stuff and using the climbing gear... Even watching how the Ibex sort of climb and go on the mountains and that is a bit janky. Although, you know what? I feel like I should be able to climb up this area. Like, looking from here to that, I don't know if it's steep enough that I wouldn't be able to get up there. How am I doing for shots, too? Okay, I still have 2 more to go. I feel like if I look at that, I should be able to climb up and get onto the top area here. I know... I was trying to remember, because Dangerfloof said there are... I think there are certain areas, or there are places where you don't need climbing gear, but you have to do a very long roundabout trip for. I'm wondering if this is, like, one of those. If I can get up there, and then I can look over this way... I may be able to get that male Ibex we spotted. It just depends on how far it's gone off. But I feel like I should be able to climb up that there. If I can, maybe I'll try extending this episode just so I can go back and see about the one that I wounded before. Yeah, I don't want to go running just in case that male isn't, like, too far away. I mean, it's possible it sprinted off and is who knows heck where. I definitely feel like I should be able to just get up this relatively easily. If that's the case, then you really do just need, perhaps, the one bit of climbing gear, and then you can get up to the second area. Because I think these really hard... solid lines, like there, one there, and I don't see anything really along the southern one. Yeah, oh yeah, I have to be able to walk up that. That looks just easy to get up. I'm going to take a little sprint just to make sure. I would hate to say all that and find out, oh, no, you actually can't. It does look like we're going to be up there. Come on, go, go, go. So you don't need the climbing gear to get up to this highest point. You do need at least one from the looks of it, at least from the way I went. But you can get up to this upper area just by going all the way here. That's actually that's nice to know. So it's not like super exclusive areas are highly cut off. You can just use one and get to some better areas to hunt from. But looking to where that male went, I don't think I can get up there. That looks too steep. But this does mean I can circle around to where the other spots have been and see about some more Ibex. Okay, I gotta admit, Val-des-bois, it's picked itself up a little bit. I still think the minigame doesn't need to be in, like, the Hunter Classic as a thing. Because if you're going to put a minigame in, usually you kind of want to have it be able to reward you if you do well on it, and kind of not feel like too much of a penalty if you can't. Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a consequence if you lose it, but it shouldn't feel like something where you will only lose. Where it's either a neutral something accomplished or not. Again, I just feel so out of place in something like the Hunter Classic. Is that a cave? Oh, no, I guess it's just the way the shadows are lying over there. Yeah, so this is up towards the area where all the Ibex calls and that were coming from. And where I think they all ran off to, really. Alright, I won't run because I don't know exactly where things are. Oh, actually, I think that might be a huntable bird right there. I think that's one of the ptarmigans. Because they are supposed to be up in the mountain areas here. So, I'll have to keep my ears open in case I do hear any calls or that from them. It is nice just actually being able to, say, get up to this area after feeling like it was going to be closed off. Yeah, so I'll just draw. So this is the area here. You know, it's kind of weird. You only have so much you can go with one, but then you can, like, loop a second and multiple others. Yeah, there are some really weird choices. Okay, it's that right there. If you want to climb up and just use one piece of climbing gear, then go into the highest reaches of the map, that's probably going to be your best bet. I think I don't know if you'd be able to get up here and through with no pieces, but I'm not sure. No, is that a rock or is that an Ibex? That's just another rock. Yeah, so you know what? I am going to sprint a little... Oh, Lord, okay, yeah, this already went longer than I was expecting it to. I'm going to sprint and see about that one I wounded. Or maybe, you know what, maybe what I'll even do is I'll just do my little, like, time speed-ups and see how things go. I normally don't like doing that, like, cutting bits out of, like, however long it could take, but I'm a little more comfortable with doing, like, a fast-forward so that way you guys can just see, like, the speed of how things go and then the outcome. But yeah, the Hunter Classic, it really is a game you need a lot of time to be able to properly play each episode and just show off how it normally goes. It's one of those games where you're going to need, like, dozens of hours just to really get yourself started with it. Okay, that looks like just a female. You're going to need a lot of time in it just to kind of let the map warm itself up and also get yourself warmed up for it, too. So let's just go over to the area where we were and see what that entails. Maybe we'll find it quick and easy around there. Oh, and just when I thought I'd be able to fast forward, we actually got another animal. So that was a ptarmigan. I accidentally scared it out just as I was starting to walk. Yeah, so I'm just going to resume game. Well, the ptarmigan's been the most productive animal, I think, for this weekend, so that's a little interesting and a little sad, but yeah, it goes to show, this area will have the ibex and the ptarmigan if you do want to hunt for them. So I think you need at least the one piece, but if you have the time, you can just use the one piece of climbing gear, get yourself up, and then take that long walk to where we found the easier slope to climb further. Because now we're going to start circling around to that area where the ibex are. So again, probably going to fast forward in just a bit here and see if we can just at least find some semblance of what we're after. I'm thinking it's got to be up here considering everything that's happened, but I'll see you guys in a little bit then. Okay, so we're basically back right up towards that area where the last tracks were, which was just down there. But even where, like, they could go up further, I don't know where the ibex might have, like, really gone. Like, these are all just random tracks. They're nothing actually like what I was looking for. Like, I can hear calls and that, but they are definitely in areas where I can't really get access to them. Like, if I go off of, like, from where the previous path was, we're basically right up towards where they would have, like, been ascending up the mountain. And I don't see any other tracks or clues or anything like that for where this one I wounded went, so I really have no idea how it worked that. I've gotten some of the others with just the body shot and it goes down instantly. This one was able to run off to who knows where with something. But we'll end this episode of the Hunter Classic here with a nice little view out to Val-des-bois. Just hide that. Because the map is still gorgeous to look at. I still have some mixed feelings with it, but at least we were able to hunt a number of animals on it. There weren't really any new species aside from the ptarmigan and the ibex from, like, the rest of the roster, which we actually did hunt ourselves this episode. So we've had a bit of a tour. Seeing the questionable climbing stuff, I still hold some reservations to it, but overall, I think Val-des-bois was an interesting little map to come back and see. So, thank you guys for joining me on this episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave comments right down below. Until I do catch you in the next video or episode, though, hunters and survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.